Doctor Who Arc of Infinity, the 8th story of the 5th Doctor, is written by Johnny Byrne and starring Peter Davison, Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding. In terms of Season 20, it was airing twice weekly on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings on BBC One. The stories involve the returning characters celebrating the 20th anniversary of the show. There's also the Black Guardian trilogy, 12-part epic. The 5 Doctors released more than 8 months after the last story, The King's Demons, but it's usually included as part of Season 20. So the title was originally called The Time of Niemann and The Time of Omega. Substantial portions of the story were shot in Amsterdam. This was the only second time Doctor Who had filmed outside of Britain. John Nathan Turner hoped to repeat the success of the first story filmed overseas, City of Death. Amsterdam was chosen both because during that time BBC had developed contacts there and because it was cheap to arrange travel and hotel accommodations. Johnny Byrne had some trouble at first because the producers wanted a plot that made the Amsterdam setting a key factor in the course of events, rather than him just happening to be there. Part 1 was released on a Monday, 3rd of January 1983, and the rest Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. This season begins with Omega on Gallifrey with cool blue and white effects. It has a Time Lord stealing the biodata extract of another Time Lord, killed Talor and the biodata to a creature composed of antimatter, and uses the biodata to invade the TARDIS and then the Doctor's metabolism. It's a cool scene where Omega tried to take over the Doctor but failed. Nessa helped the Doctor recover. At Amsterdam, Robin and Colin decide to sleep in the abandoned Frankendale crypt. As they couldn't find a hostel, Colin hears the noise and Robin thinks he's imagining it, so Colin goes to check, but then Ergon shoots him and he disappeared. I love the bit where the door slides open with the white inside and Ergon walks out. It's so terrifying. Robin sees what's going on and manages to escape, so he tells the receptionist at the hostel that Colin won't be there but his cousin will, which would be Tegan. The Doctor and Nessa arrived on Gallifrey, captured by the guards, and the Doctor's stunned to be taken to the High Council. So Lord President Barusa stresses the gravity of the situation since the creature poses such a threat to the universe, and the High Council had no choice but to issue a warrant of termination on the Doctor to ensure the creature can no longer bond with him. So luckily the Doctor's old friend Damon came to the rescue and proving the Doctor's innocence. So Tegan arrives at the airport. She was looking forward to see her cousin Colin to cheer her up as she lost her job, but Robin told her the news, so they tried the police. But didn't work, so they investigate Crypt themselves. The Doctor is sent for execution. Nessa tried to save him, but there was nothing that can be done. So we get an uh-oh cliffhanger where the sentence is carried out. It looks pretty cool with the smoke on the Doctor where he turns into Omega, and the sound effects. Peter Davison is brilliant as the 5th Doctor. I thought he was so good as the Omega as well when he has the same face as the Doctor. Ian Collier, who previously played Stuart Hyde in The Time Monster, in this story plays Omega. He gives off great performance. Jonathan Youth, Malcolm Stoddart and Stephen Riddle were suggested for the role. I love Sarah Sutton as Nessa, she's a brilliant companion. I've met Peter and Sarah at Comic-Con. They're really nice. Janet is great as Tegan Jovanka. I thought Paul Jericho is great as Castelline. And plus, I actually watched The 5 Doctors long before I watched Arc of Infinity. So when I watched this story, I was like, wow, that's Castellan from The 5 Doctors. Colin Baker was considered for the role, and so was Bernard Hepton, Derek Godfrey, Patrick Stewart, Francis Matthews, Maurice Perry, Keith Mitchell, Terence Hardiman, Anton Rogers, Peter Vaughan, Edward Woodward, Charles Kay, Sean Arnold and Peter Gilmore, which was mentioned in Season 20, the collection box set. President Barusa in this serial is played by Leonard Sachs. I think he's fantastic. He was originally to be played by Doctor Who actor from Dalek films Peter Cushing. Colin Baker plays the 6th Maxwell, Commander of Gallifreyan Chancellery Guards, and Castellan of the High Council. He gives off amazing performance. It's so strange watching this story seeing Colin Baker playing a different character before becoming the Doctor. like Peter Capaldi as he first played Lobus Caecilius in The Fires of Pompeii, then John Frobisher in Torchwood Children of Earth, and then later The 12th Doctor. Also David Tennant having small parts in Big Finish audio series, first felt Weebolkers in Older Dids, and Caretaker in Scream of the Shalka animated movie starring Richard E. Grant as the Doctor, who played Dr. Simeon in Series 7. Tennant later played the 10th Doctor and then the 14th Doctor, and David Bradley, who played Solomon in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship and voiced Shan Sheath in the Sarah Jane Adventures Death of the Doctor. So back to Maxwell, the 6th Doctor once mentioned his resemblance to Maxwell in Prime Winner. The character was set to return in The Five Doctors, but Colin Baker wasn't available. Pierce Brosnan and Tim Woodward were considered for the role, plus Colin suggested to have Maxwell arrested the Doctor in the Trial of a Time Lord season, which would have been so cool. Elspeth Gray plays Talia High Chancellor, she's great too. Honor Blackman, Jenny Linden and Linda Bellingham were considered for the role. Michael Gough plays Hedden, High Council of the Time Lords, and an old friend to the Doctor who revealed to be the traitor. Gough is great as Hetty, plus I've known Michael Gough as Alfred in Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher's Batman films. He of course previously played the Toy Maker, talented actor. Michael Lees, Robin Bailey, Jeffrey Belden, Andrew Cruikshank, John Horsley, Bernard Archard, Richard Vernon, Terence Alexander and David Langton were considered for the role. Alistair Cumming plays Colin Fraser, Tegan's cousin. Andrew Baxter played Robin Stewart. Those two guys are backpacking holiday in Amsterdam. They're canny as well. Mox Harvey plays Zorak, a Time Lord and Time Cardinal of the High Council. He's great too. Neil Daglish plays Damon, Time Lord technician for the High Council. I like him, he's canny as well. It explains in the parodic Dalek spoof scenes a version of events where the Time War was alternatively fight against the Drashigs instead of the Daleks. The Ninth Doctor explained Damon as one of the people who'd perish in the war, alongside Drax, Spandrel and the Meddling Monk. John D. Collins plays Talor, a High Council technician. Maya Wolf plays receptionist, worked at the Amsterdam Youth Hostel. Malcolm Harvey plays Ergon, a mutant creature created by Omega. He's pretty cool. Guy Garone plays another receptionist at Amsterdam Youth Hostel. There's great casting, the music by Roger Lim is great, and there's some great effects for its time and low budget, both original and CGI replacement. So the Doctor is floating inside the Matrix, which is a pretty cool scene. He speaks to Omega, while Nessa and Damon confronts Castellan, and they realise the Doctor is alive. Meanwhile, Tegan and Robin have found Colin, who seems to be brainwashed. So they both got shot and disappeared by Ergon, and ended up on Omega's TARDIS, and met Omega. So the Doctor sees Tegan inside the Matrix. At first he thought she was just the illusion, but then she's free from the Matrix. After the conversation with Omega and freed from the Matrix, the Doctor reunites with Nessa and Damon. Castellan thought Barusa is a traitor, but obviously it turns out to be Hedden. As the Doctor and Nessa said goodbye to Damon and outrun Maxwell and his guards, Hedden pointed his gun at Barusa and doing the same with the Doctor and Nessa. As the Doctor finds out Omega is behind all this, Castellan came in and killed Hedden. All of a sudden, Omega controls the Matrix. Even though the Doctor knows that he's Omega, the plan will stay as planned. After speaking to Omega in the Matrix, finding out Tegan's whereabouts, the TARDIS is undetected, so the Doctor and Nessa goes down to Amsterdam to find Tegan. As soon as they found her, Robin and Colin, the Omega has the 5th Doctor's face and ran off. The bit where the mask was melted was pretty gross. I love the scene where the Doctor, Nessa and Tegan were chasing after Omega around Amsterdam Street. Also where the Omega listened to the music at some kind of puppet show, and the kids smiled at him, and Omega smiled back. Eventually Omega was mutating as it's not lasting long. By the time they arrived at the docks, the Doctor did something that he never usually do, and that's destroying Omega with a gun. So the Time Lords are happy that he's gone. Colin is in hospital, and because Tegan is sacked, she'll be the companion again. I do think this is a great story, I do find it underrated. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on Arc of Infinity. Thanks as always for watching, people, and I'll see you in the next video.